Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to the episode number 4 of the Robert Jones, my player. And this is gonna be a big episode because in this episode we're gonna have few matches. And as you can see, Robert Jones he grabbed the August Player of the Month in his first ever month as a professional footballer, and he's currently 10th ranked in the Leicester team in terms of Brendan Rodgers. He's already grown by 3 ratings, so he's really good. His form is excellent. He scored 8 goals in 7 matches. This game is against Reading, which I'm gonna quick sim. It's a bit of a gamble, I know, but we'll see. And Robert Jones gets a brace, so the gamble pays off for us. But yeah, if you want to see more of this, if you're excited for Robert Jones's road to glory, subscribe, because this is gonna be a tough one. Because they already have Iheanacho, who is higher rated than Jones. They have Wout Weghorst, who is higher rated, and then they have Bardiera, who is also higher rated. So it's gonna be tough for Jones, but he's in excellent form. So hopefully he can go on. And now we have the big game. It's against Leeds United, and he's already reached double figures in his season. So will Jones be selected? I'm not too sure. We'll see. And he has been selected against Wolves. World class difficult day. He's starting up top with Harvey Barnes, Shangizanda also playing. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Oh, just a second, there was a bit of glitch, but we'll continue. Wolves, this is a very big match here. This is gonna be a very big match for Robert Jones. If he wanna prove himself as the number one striker, because Weghorst and the other striker, they're not particularly in good form. So this is a good chance for Jones. But you can see campaign to remember for Robert Jones already. He's already gone into double digits, and we've not even completed September. But today his passing has been a bit dodgy. You have to look at it. He can't afford to have a bad game. He has a bad game. His place is taken in the team, so he can't afford to have it. And he's played in Harvey Barnes. And here's Robert Jones. He's seen Madison up there. He's asked for it. Oh, he's just missed it. Robert Jones. Oh my days, what a player he is! But he just missed it. Great 1-2 with James Madison in there. Robert Jones. After the departure of Jamie Vardy, this is gonna be a big one for Jones. And it hasn't been in the best of passing forms. Robert Jones hasn't really got his passing on point this game. He has to get it on point, because if he doesn't, well, there might well be some trouble for Leicester and for Robert Jones. As we know, we are as Robert Jones, we are taking every game as a cup final, because that's the way how it is for us, because there are eventually 3 higher rated strikers. So if you want to get game time, we gotta perform, and we gotta perform every time we step onto that field. So that's what I want to do. And today really Leicester haven't come to the fold either. And Robert Jones has been a bit iffy. He has to pump up. This is a very big game against Wolves. This is actually, for me, in terms of the teams and the ratings and all, in terms of, and this hasn't been a good game by any means for Robert Jones. Leicester, it hasn't been good in general for Leicester. They haven't been the best of the teams, but that's Robert Jones isn't having it today. Today is not Robert Jones' day. I think we can all agree that. Today is not Robert Jones' day. But here he goes. Now, 1 goal and every bad performance that he's put in is redempted here. And here's Robert Jones. He's hit it up. Robert Jones is hit it up and over. Not particularly good from Robert Jones, but we'll have to stand with it here. Here come now. Robert Jones is gonna come back, Robert Jones, and that's it. That is it then. Terrible defeat. Not a defeat. It feels like a defeat, to be honest. Robert Jones didn't have the best of games. No one really did at Leicester had a good game. except Ricardo Pereira. Bad game, not a good game by any means. And this is what I was thinking about. Like, this is what I was saying, that one bad game for Jones and his career at Leicester might be over, and people might take his place up. So that's what I was saying. Now we'll move on to the next Europa League game for us, because I didn't think we were gonna play this game, but we are, because Brendan Rodgers has gone with Robert Jones up top against Roma in their UEL match. This is a very big match, yeah. By all means, this is the match that you should look forward to. This is a very big match in terms of UCL and where they wanna finish in the UCL. This is a very big match for that, and I don't know what I'm doing, but still, this is a very big match for that, and we gotta win this. Leicester gotta win this, because Roma have won their first game, Leicester have won their first game. This is the one who decides this is gonna be big. And now and forever, we're gonna play at home, Leicester City. Robert Jones starts it. And I'm a bit surprised because Leicester signed 2 strikers in the window and none of them have actually been playing much. None of them. But Robert Jones, enough of all of that. Robert Jones needs to get a goal soon. He's seen Harvey Barnes and he has released Harvey Barnes, and now they can run. Now they can run. And Robert Jones, seen him. Robert Jones is going through. Oh my days. Robert Jones nearly just went through whole of that defense. Nearly he did. Nearly he did. And here's Rob can't guide it in, and it has been that sort of a game. You have got there but you haven't. And that's wonderfully played in from Robert Jones to Yuri Tielemans. And Robert Jones gets an assist. If he's not scoring, he's assisting. Great pass from Robert Jones into Yuri Tielemans, who composes himself and has a pop and has a goal. Leicester City get the goal. Robert Jones with the assist this time around. And finally, Leicester get a goal. And Robert Jones is involved. That's what Robert Jones is all about. He's not Chris Wood. He's not a striker who just stands and scores goals. He is someone who really. Here's Robert Jones. He's put in the delivery. Harvey Barnes, and he's fallen it. Oh my days. Oh, that's full time. And Leicester get the dub against Roma. Nearly on the attack last time around, Leicester. But they get the dub in. They get the dub. Yuri Tielemans, man of the match. And Jones, again, not a convincing performance. Gets an assist though. Probably good. Probably not. We're not sure. But 10 games, 10 goals, 2 assists. Nicely done. And yeah, we move on. The thing I feared the most has happened finally. Robert Jones has been dropped and the big money signing Weghorst has started. This is what I feared and this is what has happened. But Leicester, they still get the dub in. But that's what I feared the most. That was arguably my biggest fear. That Robert Jones would be dropped after a couple of games without a goal. But he's gone up a rating, Robert Jones. He's gone up to 70 rating now. He's gone up by 4 this season. He's completed all of his objectives also. That should at least help him get up in Brendan Rodgers' wish list. You can see Robert Jones, a revelation for Leicester. He really has been, and now Leicester have Spurs incoming. He wasn't selected for the last game, but he hasn't also been selected for this game. So it's not going down well, I would say. It's not going down well. But Brendan Rodgers has said, and he said that he's very impressed by Robert Jones and he's an integral part of their team. This is just outrageous, but Rodgers, he hasn't selected him, and Weghorst, the big money signing, has started again. and Spurs lose. This game I'm gonna be quick 7. Hopefully Robert Jones gets a few goals, few assists, and he doesn't. So a bad game for Robert Jones, and now the fingers are raising. The fingers are being raised at Robert Jones now. He's still not come up to his best, but this is gonna be a big one. And Robert Jones starts against Manchester United. So finally the Gaffer has understood that Weghorst isn't playing well. Weghorst isn't good enough. Robert Jones is the man who's gonna take you to glory. It's good the Gaffer understood this in time, but if he hadn't, Leicester would have lost many more games. Robert Jones coming up against, now he's back here again, and this is a very important game. This is like in terms of the fight for Europe, because Manchester United currently are 7th in the Premier League table. This is a very important game, and Robert Jones has been dropped a few times. So this has to be a statement performance from Robert Jones. This really has to be a statement performance. And that's really well done. And nearly played him in Roberts's. And United have had the chances. Leicester have had a few. I think Leicester have had less prominent ones. United have had more prominent ones. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the game. And here's Robert Jones. Here's Robert Jones. It's well played in. Oh my days, Robert Jones. There's Robert Jones. Oh no. Man United have been playing really well. Man United have been playing extremely well out here. And Robert Jones coming in from an offside position. Nothing's clicking for him. Nothing. And that's well played in for Robert Jones. He moves, he turns, he's fast, he's quick, and he's gonna ask for another ball played in. He's gonna ask for a ball played in. He's gonna turn. Robert Jones! Not so much power on that. And you know what, guys? I'll quick sim this. Let's see what happens. And Robert Jones doesn't really do anything. Does well though. Gets a decent enough match rating. So guys, from me, that's it for now. And yeah, see ya later. Till then, bye bye. Just when Robert Jones thought everything was good and he would cement his place back into Leicester, he got a news. His family had an accident.